Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan, the YouTube channel. Hope all is well. And we're going to finish our test game of Dice Baseball, Game 1 of the 1984 National League Championship Series. We played 6 innings yesterday, and we're going to play the final 3 tonight. And after 6 innings of play, the Padres lead the Cubs in Wrigley 2-0. Padres scored the first run in the top of the third, leadoff double by Gary Templeton. He was bunted over by Eric Shaw to third. So with 1 out, a ground ball to second by Alan Wiggins knocked in Templeton 1-0. And then in the top of the fourth, Greg Nettles got revenge for striking out in the first inning. He hit a home run off Rick Sutcliffe, 2-0. As we go to the top of the seventh, Cubs have threatened but not scored. And I've also figured out I was looking in the wrong place for the pitcher stamina. Rick Sutcliffe does have a 30 stamina, so that's good. He's out of the game now. And the runs that were scored before he ran out of stamina, so everything is A-okay. Hope all is well. I just finished watching ID Gesture's Dungeons & Dragons group with Dog Sidious, Chris from Stratomatic, Delaware, OG, original Grognard, Herb Pilgrim, and Dylan, not Dylan, Dylan. And it was a lot of fun. So let's play these final 3 innings here. And Eric Shaw is coming up. And see, I thought his stamina, incorrectly so, was 32. That's the number of starts he had. The stamina goes off the STABF, and it's 27, and he's at 26 batters now, so we're going to have a pinch hitter. The pitcher for the Cubs, who came in and got the final out in the top of the 6th, is Warren Brewstar, and he's good for 6 batters, and I was right with that with the way I divided it out. And he pitched to 1, so his stamina's down to 5 now. So I'm glad I know how to do that. It was actually pretty obvious. I just looked in the wrong spot. And we're going to go with a pinch hitter now for Eric Shaw. And we're going to go with the Padres' #1 pinch hitter, Tim Flannery. And he batted .273 with 2 homers. But he batted .287 off right-handed pitching. So he grabs a bat, and he will hit for Eric Shaw, who's now out of the game. And we'll bring in Greg Harris will come in to try to get us to Leppertz and then Gossage. So Greg Harris will be next in the game. We will not go to Greg Booker. That's who they went with. But in the original game, the Cubs beat the Padres. I think it was 13-1. Right now it's 2-0 Padres. So Harris continues to warm in the bullpen. So Brewstar will face Tim Flannery, the lefty. So let's get Flannery on the page here. Pinch hitter. Tim Flannery. So here's Flannery, and he is a lefty, and he's a pinch hitter. So Shaw's day is done. He had a sacrifice bunt that helped lead to a run, and he walked. So top of the 7th, pinch hitter Tim Flannery. Brewstar has a control factor of a 10 through 60. Here's the pitch from Brewstar to Flannery. And that's a 23. We read the green dice first. As you should have a white dice and a red dice, but I have a green and a red. And 2 10-sided dice. So it's a 23. Control factors off the Brewstar card. No error check. Flannery's a left-handed batter. We go off the left-handed column. And that is a 67. And a 67 is a line out. So let's quickly just roll that dice. That's a 3. And we go to the line out, and a 3. He lines out to the first baseman. So Flannery lines out to Durham, and that's the first out of the top of the 7th. So 1 down. And Flannery will probably not stay in the game, but we're just going to put it like that for now. The pitcher's card will most likely hit there. So top of the order, Alan Wiggins. He knocked in a run. He's 0 for 2 with the RBI with the ground out to second. And Brewstar now is good for 4 batters. Wiggins, a switch hitter, batting lefty. Brewstar picks up the sign. Nods his head. Here's the pitch to Alan Wiggins, and that is a 57. So Brewstar still in control. Go off his left-handed batter column on his pitcher's card, and that is a 26. And a 26 is a strikeout, so he strikes out Wiggins. 2 down. So Brewstar is holding the ship here, holding the fort. 2 outs, base is empty. Wiggins. Go like that. And here's Tony Gwynn. He is flown out deep twice, once to right and once to left. In between that, he singled. Gwynn, left-handed batter. Brewstar shakes off the catcher. Now he's on the same page with Jody Davis. He rocks and fires to Gwynn. And that is an 89, so it goes off the Tony Gwynn card. Right-handed batter. There will be an error check. Anytime it's off the hitter's card, there's an error check after we see where it's going. And this is a 0-4. And a 0-4 is a walk. Good eye by Tony Gwynn. So on a walk, obviously no error. So Gwynn keeps the inning alive with the walk. And he's on base for the second time. So Gwynn walks. And here comes Steve Garvey. Garvey has singled and struck out twice. So Brewstar is good for 3 more batters. Davis sets the target. Here's the pitch to Garvey. And that's a 50. So it's off the Brewstar card, the pitcher's card. He's in control. And that's a 71, inning over. 71, just a matter of where the out is. A righty-righty matchup, and that's a line out. And a 7 to a right-handed batter. Just make it official. That's a line out to the third baseman. Ron Say the Penguin robs his former Dodger teammate, Steve Garvey. Go to the bottom of the 7th. And here comes Greg Harris in the game. So Greg Harris comes in. Hello, Ken. How's the sound quality? Hope all is well, Ken. Ken Castro in the chat. So Shao is done. Shao pitched 6 innings. He can only win it. He can't lose it. Let's write in Greg Harris. And I'm ecstatic that I understand the... see what you look on the card, the STABF. Stamina, batters faced. It makes so much sense now that I figured it out. So Harris is a righty. He was actually ambidextrous. He also pitched for the Red Sox, I remember, later on. And this is Greg Harris, the man with the spectacles. Greg Harris. And let's see. He does not hold runners on well. +5. That's awful. And his stamina is 8 batters. And his control factor is pretty good, 10 through 65. And this is the bridge to get to Lefferts or definitely Goose Gossage. So he's the bridge to get to Lefferts, the setup man, then Goose Gossage. We might go straight to Gossage, though. So here is Greg Harris. And Harris will face a pinch hitter as Sutcliffe, the pitcher, was due up. Well, Brewster. So Brewster would be out of the game. So he's out of the game. And Sutcliffe is out of the game. So we need a pinch hitter for the Cubs. And we got quite a choice here. Let's see. Harris is a righty. We might go to Henry Cotto, who actually did pinch hit in the game. Then went out to play left. But that's when they were ahead. But we will go to Henry Cotto as he bats .276 off right-handed pitching. Then it'll be the top of the order, so Cotto will pinch hit. So Henry Cotto, I said Cotto, and he's a righty, and he's going to pinch hit here in the bottom of the seventh. So it'll be Cotto, then the top of the order, Denier and Sandberg. Harris in 1984, 2 wins, 1 losses, 1 save, 2.70 earned run average. Looking to once again bridge the Padres to get to Lefferts and Gossage. Here's the pitch to Cotto from Harris, and that is a 77. So Harris not in control will go off the Cotto card. So there will be an error check, and that's a 63. And a 63 righty-righty matchup. 63, what will it be? Ground ball B. So let's first determine where the ball goes to. And that's a 4, right-handed batter. 4 goes to the second baseman. The second baseman for the Padres is Alan Wiggins. He's had a stellar day at second. And his defense is a 91. So anything 91 or under, he makes the play. And he makes the play as that's a 6. So the pinch hitter Cotto grounds out to Wiggins for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. That's 4-3. Garvey made the last out there. So top of the order, 1 out for Bob Denier. Denier is 1 for 3, singled in the first. Then he lined out or popped out to second, and then he flew out to center in the 5th. Here's the pitch to Denier, and that's a 16, so Harris is in control here. No error check, righty-righty matchup. And that's a 65. That's going to be out number 2, folks. 65 is a ground ball C. That doesn't matter. Let's just roll to see who it goes to. 5, so that's going to be to the third baseman. And that's 5-3, so Harris dealing the ground balls here. And Denier is out 5-3 as Nettles throws over to Garvey. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. And that will bring up Ryne Sandberg. He is 0 for 3. Hit the ball hard in the first. Wiggins made a diving catch, possibly robbing an RBI opportunity for Sandberg. He's looking for some revenge. 2-0 Padres. Righty-righty matchup. Harris picks up the sign from Kennedy. He rocks and fires to Sandberg, and that's a 45. Harris is in control, so once again off the pitcher's card. And that's a 62, inning over. That's another ground ball. And that's another in front of the plate. Kennedy picks it up, takes his time, throws to Garvey. 1, 2, 3. Go the Cubbies. Greg Harris does his JOB. So that's 2-3. And Harris does a fine job. We go to the top of the 8th. Still 2-0. Padres. Yeah, I know I need an overhead camera at Clinton Park, so I'm not going to go buy an overhead camera. I'm testing out the game. I enjoy the game. It's reasonably priced. I will be purchasing a season. I just want to hear back from the people. I emailed them. Hope all is well, Clinton. How's the sound quality? And now the Cubs need a new pitcher, and we're going to go with... We're not going to go with the pitcher that actually came in because they were ahead. Actually, we used Bruce Starr, who actually pitched well. So we're going to go with... Let's go off the card here. Tim Stoddard will try to keep the game, the 2-run deficit. And let's go find Stoddard. I don't like Frazier's ERA. Let's find Stoddard. Sanderson. Lee Smith. Here's Tim Stoddard. 3.82. So Tim Stoddard will come in the game. Let's leave Lee Smith on top in case we have to use him. Let's write Stoddard in. So Bruce Starr pitches an inning and a third. His day is done. He did his JOB, gives up nothing. And here comes Tim Stoddard. And he's a right-handed thrower. -9 on a hold, so you're not really stealing on him. His stamina, again, that's the STABF off the card. It's so obvious now that I figured it out. Is 7 batters, and his control factor is 10-51. Let's go and read Clinton Parks. Oh, he went apple picking this weekend, and then yummies in Kittery, like I needed it. All right, so here's Stoddard. And he's going to face Nettles, Kennedy, and McReynolds. Greg Nettles hit the home run in the 4th to put the Padres up 2-0. He is 1 for 3, is struck out, homered, and popped out to third. Here we go, top of the 8th. Stoddard control factor 10-51. That's a 97. So we're going to go off the Nettles card. There will be an error check. Nettles is a lefty. So we go off the right-handed pitcher column because Stoddard's a righty. And that is a 67, and that will be an out, as that's a ground ball C. So let's see who it's going to, and then we'll do the error check. And it's going to be a play for the catcher, Jody Davis. And Davis's defense is a 95, so anything 95 and under. And that's a 74, so Davis makes the play. And he throws out Nettles. 2-3. 1 down. Terry Kennedy comes to the plate, Padres catcher. He is 0 for 3. He has popped out to second, grounded to first, and struck out his last time up. The windup and the pitch by Stoddard, and that's a 58. And Stoddard is not in control. Again, he's 10-51, so it's going to be off the Kennedy card. He's a left-handed batter facing a right-handed pitcher. And that is a 51. I think that's not, I don't think that's a hit, that's for sure. A 51, and that's a ground ball A, and that would be a double play ball if anyone's on there. So let's just first see where the ball's hit, and it's right back at the pitcher, Stoddard, and his defense, Stoddard's defense, he's not that good, 83. And he'll field this one, though. It's a 41. He knocks it down, picks it up, throws to first for out number 2. So 2 outs, base is empty. As the Cubs dugout breathes a sigh of relief on that adventure of Stoddard on the mound with the ball hit back at him. And here comes Kevin McReynolds. McReynolds, the center fielder, is 1 for 2. He is grounded out to the pitcher, to the catcher, and a number in front of the plate, doubled, and then lined out to the first baseman, Leon Durham. Stoddard nods his head. Here's the pitch to McReynolds, and that's a 43. Stoddard in control, and that's a 46. Could be a 1-2-3 inning here. 46, righty-righty matchup. 46, and that is a strikeout. Stoddard strikes out McReynolds, and the side is retired. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 2-0, Padres. So McReynolds is out. Due up for the Cubbies, Matthews, Durham, and Moreland. And now decision time. Do we go to Goose Gossage for a 6-out save? Gossage is good for 7 batters. I think we got to go to Gossage. We're not going to screw around. We're going to go right to Goose Gossage. So Harris bridges the gap to Gossage. We're not going to go. Let's check out Lefferts real quick. 2-3-1. 2-1-3. He's a lefty. He's a lefty. And the Cubs, Durham's a righty. Matthews is a righty. Durham's a lefty. And Moreland, then we have a bunch of righties and a switch hitter. We could let Harris go 1 batter, then go lefty. Lefties only hit 200 off of him. Righties 237. Gossage, lefties hit 226, and righties only 181. Righties only hit 187 off Harris. Harris is going to stay in for another batter. So Harris will stay in for 1 more batter here. So it's going to be Harris versus Gary Matthews. And Sarge, Gary Matthews, the left fielder, is 0 for 2. Nubbed one to the catcher. And then lined out to short. Or popped out to short. Here's the pitch to Sarge. Righty-righty matchup. Harris 10 through 65 in control. That's a 60, so it's going to go off the Harris card. And that's a 28. Lower the number, the better. 28. But that is a strikeout. Again, righties only batted 187 off of Harris, and he K's Sarge, Gary Matthews. So Harris doing his JOB here in the bottom of the 8th. Strikes out Matthews. That's his 4th batter faced. He's good for 4 more. Lefties only batted 237. And here comes Leon Durham. And that's it for Greg Harris. We're going to go to the lefty now, Craig Lefferts. So here comes Craig Lefferts. So Harris pitched an inning and a third. Harris pitched an inning and a third. Yes, an inning and a third. I did that right. So here comes Craig Lefferts. His one job to get out the lefty Leon Durham. So Craig Lefferts comes in the game. And the more you play a game, the more you get used to it. And I actually kind of like this game. And it's very reasonably priced. I also have all-star lineup coming to be. It should be here by next week, the new game from Barstool Sports. So he's a lefty. Oh my God, he's awful at holding runners. +9, if someone gets on, odds he's going. He can pitch to 7 batters, and his control factor, 10 to 72. So that's good. We just want to get Leon Durham here. Leon Durham with 1 out. He is 1 for 3. He doubled, and that's sandwiched between a fly out to right and a ground ball back to the pitcher. So here's Durham. Lefferts, done with his warm-up tosses, has a word with Kennedy. Kennedy goes back behind the plate, squats down. Here's the pitch. And that is a 42, and that'll be off the Lefferts card. And that's an 18. And off a left-handed batter. Oh, this is, see, if it was a righty, it's a double. But Durham fights off the tough pitch from the lefty Lefferts, and he singles to right. So Leon Durham picks up his second hit. He singles to right. He'll hold at first. Tying run comes to the plate, and Keith Moreland, and that's it for Lefferts. So Durham's on first. LMR is in the chat. Hope all is well. Check out LMR's channel, Living My Rhapsody. Also check out Clinton Parks. Good people. So that didn't work out the way we thought. And here comes the Goose, former Yankee, former White Sox, actually even former Pirate, Rich Goose Gossage. And he's going to come in and try to get the 5-out save here. So Lefferts pitched to a batter. He's responsible for Durham at first, 1 out. Pitched to a batter. And here comes Rich Goose Gossage. His hold factor, my God, that's a +7. I don't think we'll be sending Durham down 2 with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Gossage can pitch to 7 batters, and his control factor 10 through 63. And it's Goose Gossage. Rich Gossage. The Goose. That Fu Manchu mustache. And he's a righty. So Gossage will face Moreland. Moreland is 0 for 3. He has popped out to the catcher and struck out twice. Moreland, off right-handed pitchers, batted .269. Remember, he had 16 home runs in '84. Rich Gossage, 2.90 earned run average, 10 wins, 6 losses, 25 saves. Righties batted a minuscule 1.181. Lefties 2.62. Gossage ready to work. The violent delivery, the pitch to Moreland, and that is a 98. So it's going to be off the Moreland card. And that is an 84, so that will be an out, folks. Righty on the Moreland card. We will do an error check. 84 is a fly ball. So let's just go to the fly ball. When it's a fly ball, you don't re-roll. You just stick with the 84. And a fly ball doesn't necessarily mean to the outfield. It just means up in the air. Righty. That is a pop-up to Wiggins at second. And Wiggins' error rating is a 91. And that is a 60. So Wiggins makes the catch on the pop-out as Gossage jams Keith Moreland with a high and tight fastball. So 2 outs. And now the tying run comes to the plate in the Penguin. And what a matchup this is. Former Yankee, former Dodger. But now it's Padre versus Cub. Rich Goose Gossage versus Ron Cey. And Cey batted .236 off right-handed pitching. Cey had 25 home runs. The Penguin looking to eat up the Goose. Gossage ready. He deals. And that is an 86. So we'll go off the say card. There will be an error check. Durham will be off on contact. 2 outs, he's the runner at first, and that's an 82. So this inning, as long as there's no error, will be over, as that's another fly ball. Righty-righty matchup, an 82, or it's up in the air, and that's a pop-up to the catcher. So again, Gossage jams a Padre batter. So it's a pop-up to the catcher. Kennedy is the catcher for the Padres. His defense is 95, and that is a 33 inning over. Goose Gossage comes in and shuts the door with 2 jam pitches, a pop-up to second and a pop-up to Kennedy, the catcher. We go to the top of the 9th, 2-0. Padres. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, Clinton. A stand-up scoreboard. Yep. I got to get another camera, too. So, I just want to really get this game down pat first. I'm really enjoying this game. The seasons are $4. So, to download the PDF. And once I got over that it's on actual paper that I print them up, it doesn't bother me. And if I have more time, I'll actually put them on the PC, on the computer like I did the first time, but roll the dice, and I'll have the things up. But I actually like this better. I enjoy this better. I just need a better camera. I have a good camera. It's the one I use that I connect to my PC. I can't get it high enough, and I can't get it where I want, and it doesn't zoom in. So, all right, due up for the Padres, looking to add some insurance runs to their 2-0 lead. It will be Martinez, Templeton, and Goose Gossage, because we're not going to pinch hit for Goose Gossage. Stoddard back out on the mound. Stoddard. Brewster pitched an inning and a third. And so I got to mark that out here. All right, so here comes Carmelo Martinez. And he is 1 for 3, struck out twice in his last at-bat. He singled. Martinez, righty-righty matchup. Stoddard, 10 through 51 control factor. Here's the pitch to Carmelo Martinez, and that is a 56. So we'll go off the Martinez card, and that is a 60. That's going to be an out. But there will be an error check, so that's a ground ball. Ground ball B, that doesn't matter. Let's roll the dice, and that's a 3. So righty, 3 is to the first baseman. The first baseman is Leon Durham for the Cubs. And Durham's error defense is 97, so he's as good as gold. That's 24. He makes the play unassisted. So 1 away here in the top of the 9th. Ground ball to Durham, unassisted. Ground ball. I should mark it like that. Or do a little G or something so I know. Here comes Gary Templeton. Templeton doubled in the 3rd and scored the first Padre run when he was bunted over by Shaw and scored on a ground ball by Wiggins, a ground ball out. Since then, he's grounded to second and grounded actually to the catcher also. Here's the pitch to Templeton, the switch hitter batting lefty. Stoddard picks up the sign from Davis, and that is a 20. So that's going to be off the Stoddard card. No error check. Ooh, it's a spinner. And that is a 9. So let's see if Templeton picks up his second hit here. A righty pitcher against a lefty. So we go to Stoddard's left-handed hitter column. And that's a 9, and that's a walk. So Stoddard walks Templeton. -9. He's not stealing then. That's a walk. Templeton's at first. And here comes Rich Goose Gossage. Here's Gossage. Now I got to find his hitter's card. Where are you, Mr. Gossage? Your hitter card. That's the only thing that stinks when you cut them on regular paper. They're hard to flip through. Once you have it set up the way you want, it's not that bad. Lee Smith. And it would help if I'm actually looking at the Padres. That would be a big help, not the Cubs. So where's Mr. Gossage? I actually put his card towards the top, I remember. Greg Harris. Goose Gossage! Look at that. Well, Red Sox fan did something right. Chris Anderson! How are you, my friend? So here comes Goose Gossage, and he will hit. And Gossage batted 142, I'm sorry, 200 versus righties. 1 out, 1 on. Stoddard deals to Gossage, and he's out of control. Gossage probably would have been better off going off his card. Definitely better off going off his card. So 96 will be off the Gossage card, and that is a 65. That will be an out. There will be an error check, though. So 65, righty-righty matchup. Ground ball C, so the runner will advance. It's too slow. So Templeton will be at second. We have to see where the ball's hit. That's a 4, and that's to the second baseman, and that's Ryan Sandberg. Sandberg's defense is 97, and the green die jumped the shark. And now we have to find the green die, and this is always a thrill, folks. We're going to go green dice hunting, and oh my lord, where the heck did that puppy go? Where are you, green die? I see the green die. We have captured it. The green die was hiding by the green computer wires. Alright. That roll will count, as I just rolled it from the other side of the table. And that's a 90, but that's still an out, because Sandberg is a 97. So advancing to second on the fielder's choice is Templeton, as Gossage goes 4-3. There's 2 outs now. Top of the order, Alan Wiggins. Templeton's at second. He'll be off on contact. That is done. Say is done. So here's Alan Wiggins, 2 outs. Big insurance run at second. Templeton. Wiggins 0 for 3 with a walk, but he does have the first RBI on the ground out. Starter kicks and deals, and that is a 20. So he's in control, and that's a 66. This inning is over, folks, as that's a ground ball. Back to Stoddard. He throws to first. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 2-0 Padres. And Stoddard has faced Stoddard has faced, I think he's done because he's only good for 7 batters, so his stamina is up. If they tie it up, there'll be a new pitcher, most likely Lee Smith. So Goose Gossage, when Gossage came in, he got Say and Moreland on jam shots. He's good for 7 batters, so he's good for 5 more batters here. So Gossage is going to face Jody Davis, Larry Boa, and a pinch hitter for the pitcher. So here is Jody Davis, the catcher, and Davis is 1 for 3. He singled in his last at-bat. Prior to that, he popped out to short and struck out. Gossage 10-63 control factor. That's a 75. We go to the Jody Davis card, who hit 251 off right-handed pitching, and he had 19 homers, and that is a 23. So that's going to be good for Jody Davis. There will be an error check. 23 is a single to right. So Davis singles to right. Tying run will come to the plate now. So Davis gets another single. Last 2 at-bats, 2 singles. And now that goes to right. The right fielder for the Padres is Tony Gwynn, and he has a 97 defensive rating, and that's a 64. So he fields the ball and throws it into the cutoff man. And here comes Larry Boa. Here comes Larry Boa. Boa, the switch hitter, be batting lefty off Gossage. Gossage now good for 4 batters. Boa has singled, walked, and popped out to second. Gossage rocks and fires to Boa. That's a 46. It goes off the Gossage card. Righty-lefty matchup. And that's a 49. We go to the left-handed column for Gossage. 49. And that ball's hit hard. Ground ball A. This is going to be a double play ball. And that's a 3. So the ball goes to Garvey, to Templeton, to Gossage, covering first. Double play, 2 outs. The Padres 1 out away from taking Game 1 here in the National League Championship Series Retro Replay 1984. So a double play ball, and that goes 3 to 6 to 1. So there's 2 outs, and here comes a pinch hitter. We got to find a pinch hitter now for Stoddard. So Gossage 1 out away from a Game 1 save. And the Cubs' #1 pinch hitter. Did they have a #1 pinch hitter? No, they did not. Oh, Jay Johnstone. And we have Jay Johnstone ready right here. And Johnstone hit 300. I assumed he's on the playoff roster. I didn't check, but we're going to say he's on the playoff roster, unless he got hurt. Johnstone was dreadful against lefties. He didn't have a freaking hit against lefties, but he batted 300 against righties. Overall, 288 with no home runs. So here's Jay Johnstone, bases empty, 2 outs, trying to get to the top of the order and bring the tying run to the plate. Gossage looking for the 3rd and final out. He deals to Johnstone, and that's an 80, and it's going to go off the Johnstone card. There will be an error check, and that is a 68. This ball game's over unless there's an error. So a 68, right-handed pitcher off the Johnstone card, Jay Johnstone. 68 is a ground ball, B, but that doesn't matter. We roll 1 dice. And that's a 7, left-handed batter. We go to the chart, 7. And that is to Steve Garvey at first. And we go check Garvey's defensive rating. And he's a 99. So this ball game's over, folks. And that's an 80. So a hard-hit ball to Garvey. He races to the bag, steps on it, and the Padres win Game 1, 2-0. Gossage gets the save. Eric Shaw the win. So let me just write that down. Three ground ball. And that was Jay Johnstone. Ball game over. Padres win 2-0. Let's go to the chat. We'll call the stream. And I'll do up the stats at a later date. This game's very fun. I like it. Hey, Chris, we were right. I was looking in the wrong spot. The stamina is correct. They have him at a 30 stamina like we came up with. And like also Ron Juckett said. So I'd like to thank any ground ball base hits. Yes, you can have ground ball base hits. But when you have good defenders, you're not going to get base hits. That goes on range plays. We didn't have any range plays. We had some last night. So this is Dice Baseball from Gen 1400 Gaming. This is a free demo. You can download it, and you get the 4 playoff teams from '84, which are out of the American League. The Tigers, who won the American League East by May, and then the Royals. Tigers would beat the Royals quite handily. I think it was 3-1 in the pennant. And in the National League, as you just witnessed, Padres versus the Cubs. Cubs actually had a 2-0 lead and would lose the next 3 games. As Chris Anderson says, of course we were right. Yeah, I looked in the wrong spot. So the Padres take game 1. In reality, I want to say it was 13-1. The Cubs won game 1. But this is a fun game. I enjoy it. I emailed the company because I want to know if I buy another season, can I immediately get the download or do they email me a file? If they're emailing me a file, I'm not real comfortable with that because I don't care if I paid $4 or $400. As soon as I pay for it, I want access to it. But I do like this game. It plays well. And the more you play, I can see this game. There's an extra dice roll with the defense, but when you get in stride, it's going to go quick because you start to know things real quickly. I'm also looking at, I have the demo for Fall Classic Baseball, but I'm not going to play that yet because I want to play this a little bit more. And like I said, I have All-Star Baseball lineup coming to me. I should have that next week, and we'll do maybe an unboxing or something like that. So anyhow, this was fun. Padres take game 1. 2-0. Thank you to Chris Anderson, Clinton Parks, Living My Rhapsody, and Ken Castro. Remember, health and happiness. Till next time, take care. Bye-bye. God bless. Watch out for the curveball in the dirt, and you know it's coming, folks. Peace!